Ladies and gentlemen, how much longer will you let life happen to you instead of happening for you? Today, I ask you to look in the mirror and answer a simple question. Am I living deliberately, or am I drifting? Let me be absolutely clear. The greatest enemy of your success is not failure. It is inertia, the slow death of potential buried beneath excuses. But the good news that ends today, the starting point of all success, is clarity. Without a clear destination, you cannot create a meaningful path forward. Many people go through life reacting to circumstances rather than shaping their own future. They wish for better outcomes, but have no defined vision of what better actually looks like. This is why deciding exactly what you want is the first and most critical step to taking control of your life. It's not enough to have vague desires like "I want to be successful" or "I want to be happier." You must define what success means to you in precise, personal terms. The more specific your goal, the more powerfully your mind can work toward it. Clarity creates focus. When you know what you want, your energy is not scattered, it's concentrated. Your decisions become easier because you have a target to measure them against. Opportunities and distractions are no longer equal. You can quickly determine which supports your vision and which pulls you away from it. With clarity, you begin to notice people, resources, and situations that align with your purpose. It's as if your mind becomes a magnet for the life you've chosen to pursue. Moreover, clarity builds confidence. When your goals are specific, they become more believable. You move from passive hoping to active planning. You begin to form strategies, make commitments, and take actions that align with your chosen direction. The mind thrives on certainty, and the moment you decide exactly what you want, with conviction, you ignite a spark that sets everything else in motion. In essence, clarity is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Until you decide what you want, nothing else matters. But the moment you do, everything begins to align: your thoughts, your choices, and ultimately your life. One of the greatest illusions people fall victim to is the idea that they must wait for the perfect moment to act. They wait for more time, more money, more confidence, or more certainty. In truth, waiting is the silent killer of dreams. The real power lies not in perfection, but in motion. Taking immediate, purposeful action, even when conditions aren't ideal, is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. Planning is important, but it must never become an excuse for procrastination. Too many people hide behind planning, refining their ideas endlessly without ever stepping into action. The truth is, clarity often comes through doing. It is in the process of taking steps, however small, that you learn, adapt, and grow. Progress doesn't require perfection. It requires movement. A rough plan executed with energy beats a perfect plan never started. Action also builds momentum. The moment you take the first step, you generate energy that fuels the next. Momentum has a compounding effect. It builds confidence, encourages learning, and attracts opportunities. And with each action, no matter how minor, you gain experience that refines your path. What once seemed uncertain becomes clearer through action. There will never be a perfect time because life doesn't wait. The only perfect time is the moment you decide to move forward. Every successful person you admire began before they were ready. They chose courage over comfort, and that single choice set them apart. Action is the cure for fear and the builder of confidence. If you want to take control of your life, you must stop waiting and start doing. Don't hesitate. Don't overthink. Make your move, adjust along the way, and trust that progress, not perfection, is the true path to power. Your mind is the command center of your life. Every thought you entertain sends instructions to your emotions, decisions, and behaviors. If you want to take control of your life, you must first take control of your thinking. The truth is, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. What you allow to dominate your thoughts will eventually shape your reality. Many people live in a constant cycle of doubt, fear, and negativity because they've never learned to discipline their minds. They accept every thought that enters as truth, unaware that most of these thoughts are inherited, unconscious, and rooted in limitation. But the mind can be trained. Just as you would train a muscle, you can shape your thinking through deliberate focus and repetition. It starts with becoming aware of your mental habits. Are you constantly focused on what's wrong, what's missing, or what might go wrong? Or do you focus on possibilities, progress, and solutions? What you focus on expands. If you consistently think about what you don't want, you'll find yourself attracting more of it. If you focus on what you do want, your mind begins searching for ways to bring it into your life. This is not magic. It's how the brain works. Your thoughts program your beliefs, and your beliefs drive your behavior. When you master your mindset, you begin to respond to life with purpose instead of reacting out of fear. You must learn to guard your mind like a gatekeeper. Be intentional about what you read, watch, and listen to. Surround yourself with empowering messages and people who uplift you. Replace doubt with determination. Train yourself to think in terms of growth, possibility, and purpose. Because when you direct your thoughts, you take command of your life at its very source. Excuses are subtle and dangerous. They sound reasonable, even logical, but in reality, they are the chains that hold people back from progress. Every time you make an excuse, you hand over a piece of your power. You tell yourself that something outside of you, your circumstances, your past, your lack of time, money, or support, is in control. But the truth is, those things do not define your future unless you allow them to. Taking full responsibility for your life is not always easy, but it is essential. It means acknowledging that while you may not control everything that happens to you, you always control how you respond. That response is where your true power lies. People who succeed in life are not those who had perfect conditions. They are those who refused to let obstacles become excuses. They used setbacks as fuel and challenges as opportunities to grow stronger. Excuses are seductive because they provide comfort. They protect your ego from the pain of failure or rejection. But in doing so, they also protect you from achievement, growth, and transformation. Every excuse delays your progress and dulls your sense of agency. You begin to believe your own limitations, reinforcing the idea that your dreams are out of reach. The moment you eliminate excuses, you create space for solutions. Your mind shifts from why I can't to how I will. You stop waiting for someone to save you and start taking ownership of your path. This shift in mindset can be uncomfortable at first, but it is the gateway to freedom. You cannot change what you do not take responsibility for. If you want to take control of your life, you must reject every excuse that tries to keep you small. Own your actions, own your results, and from that place of ownership, build the life you deserve. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your mindset, habits, and ultimately, your destiny. Whether you realize it or not, the attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors of those closest to you are constantly influencing your own. You begin to mirror the energy around you, either rising higher or settling for less. That's why choosing your environment carefully is not just a matter of preference, but of personal responsibility. When you're surrounded by people who are driven, focused, and growth-oriented, you naturally feel inspired to elevate your own standards. Their conversations revolve around ideas, progress, and possibilities. They push you to be better, not because they criticize you, but because their very presence challenges you to rise. On the other hand, if you're constantly around negativity, doubt, and complacency, it's only a matter of time before those mindsets begin to creep into your own thinking. One of the hardest truths to accept is that some relationships, though familiar and comfortable, may be holding you back. These people may not intend to harm you, but their lack of ambition, constant complaining, or fear-based thinking can quietly drain your motivation. To take control of your life, you must be willing to distance yourself from influences that no longer serve your growth, even if it's uncomfortable. This doesn't mean abandoning compassion or becoming cold. It means prioritizing your future over temporary approval. Seek out those who fan your inner fire. Engage with people who challenge your thinking, hold you accountable, and believe in your potential. Your environment either expands or contracts your vision of what's possible. So, if you're serious about transforming your life, start by transforming your circle, because the fastest way to change your trajectory is to change who you're walking with. Growth is not a one-time event, it is a lifelong commitment. The moment you stop striving to become better is the moment you begin to lose control of your life. Life is always moving, evolving, and changing. If you are not growing, you are falling behind. Committing to relentless personal growth means making the decision that who you are today is only the foundation for who you can become tomorrow. Personal development doesn't happen by accident. It requires intention, effort, and consistency. It means choosing to read when others are wasting time, reflecting when others are distracted, and seeking feedback when others avoid it. It means asking better questions, learning from mistakes, and treating every challenge as a lesson in disguise. This is not just about acquiring knowledge, it's about transformation. Growth changes how you think, how you lead, and how you live. When you invest in yourself, everything else improves. Your confidence grows because you're constantly proving to yourself that you are capable of more. Your awareness sharpens, helping you make better decisions. You begin to see opportunities that others miss because your mind is trained to seek advancement rather than comfort. The best part, growth compounds. A small improvement made every day becomes a massive transformation over time. Taking control of your life means taking responsibility for your evolution. It means refusing to stay the same while expecting different results. It means recognizing that you are your greatest asset, and the more you expand your capacity, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the more you can achieve and give. The pursuit of growth is not just about success. It's about becoming the kind of person who creates success by who they are, not just what they do. The future belongs to those who are always becoming more. Be one of them.